Uh, What's happening? What's happening? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's absolutely wonderful day. You know, a little hiccups here and there, but the day is phenomenal. I hope everybody is having a great day. You know, as for me, I'm good. Get ready to go get me a petty. Get ready to go get me a Patty and Manny for today, and I finished the evening strong. But and let me tell y'all something. When I do these things, y'all better start sharing my stuff like y'all share those phony people stuff. People who ain't telling y'all nothing. I'm pouring from the depths of my soul, and you be sharing. I be looking at some of those crazy comments and that these so-called people be putting out, like the one, you know, I ain't gonna say no names, but the one joker, he say, look, he says, you gotta find the right relationships, and they got like 50,000 people sharing it. Pure garbage. What's up, Susan? What's up, Dante? But look, that's what I want to get into, because I need to give you some raw and uncut stuff. I don't think I might do that, because many people ain't gonna be you guys aren't going. Not too many people will be able to handle this conversation that I'm about to have. So we just get your hearts right, get your minds right, because we got to go in with this. This is the number one killer of relationships. I ain't say it was number two. I didn't say it was number three. This is the number one killer of relationships. Ask me how I knew. How do I know? Because I lived it. I lived this so many times. Let me first start by saying the topic is that it's no nonsense. One of the major issues that most people have in relationships, whether it be in the embryonic stage or while the relationship is maturing, or I mean, from beginning to end, whatever you want to call it, the problem that people has is that they have the previous relationship experiences. They bring their issues to this new relationship. Whatever happened in the past, whatever the issue may have been with somebody else, they tend to measure the new person by the old person. And once you do that, you immediately discount the new person. Did you hear what I said? When you bring the garbage and the misnomers and the issues and the infections and the affections and the effects of what the last relationship did to you into the new relationship, you immediately infect. You know what infect mean, right? You immediately infect and inject the new relationship with foolishness. And ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Either you get yourself together before you start dating again, or you just don't date at all, because you do a disservice to the next person because you want to bring what so-and-so did in the previous relationship. Let me prove my point parenthetically. Listen to what I'm saying to you. So here you have somebody. I'm gonna speak for me. Right. So I was dating this girl, right? And in the past couple of years, I dated this girl one time. So she was in a whole bunch of relationships of abuse, disrespect, and neglect, all of that, the whole 9 yards, to the degree that when I started dating her, and all I did was open the door. All I did was open the door. She had never had the door open for, right? So I opened the door, and it was like taboo to her. She said, "No, I got it." She said, "No, because I ain't never had nobody do this." So I'll never forget. I at that time I had I had an expedition. So she said, I'm opening the door, helped her up, tried to help her. No, I got it. Then a call came out when we went to dinner, right? She said, no, I pay for it, because she's used to paying for it. She said, Richard, let me ask you a question. Why would you want to date somebody like me? Did you hear what I said? And when you bring that kind of mindset, you immediately infect the good things that God is trying to bring your way. When you bring that kind of hurt, when you already discredit yourself because other people have discredited you, when you automatically disconnect yourself from the reality of something good is going to happen to you, you immediately immediately go into the abyss of never wanting good for yourself. And thereby you teach people how to treat you. Did you hear what I said? Ain't nobody got time for that. For real. It's either you want the best for yourself or you don't want the best for yourself. It's no gray area. You can't enter into something where somebody treats you so horribly this time and then bad and then try to treat you good the next time. Why? Because you allow them to vacillate. You allow them to shift on you. You can't let that happen. Whenever you want to create a harvest for yourself, whenever you want to, thank you, Lord, whenever you want to create a harvest, whenever you want to get better at this dating thing, whenever you want to create a relationship, a healthy relationship, you have to the first thing you have to do is that you have to get rid of all the old stuff. Whenever you drive past, and as ironic that we're having this conversation because I just drove past this cornfield. Whenever a farmer is getting ready to plant corn, right? The first thing he does is that he clears the field, gets rid of all the old corn stalks. Why? Because the corn stalks cannot help the healthiness or the new incoming growth that's in the field. And when you come along and you bring all of that bull crap into the new cornfield, nothing good can grow. The reason they separate people whenever a rose bush, they get rid of the weeds, because what the weeds does, the tares, they wrap themselves around the rose bush and choke it. You have to get rid of all that. In order to go into somewhere that you've never been, you have to get rid of everything that has been. How do I get rid of that, Cook? How do I get rid of everything that has been? The first thing that you have to do is be an open vessel for change. And I always say this, you can't change anything that you're willing to tolerate. You can't continue to relive what has already passed. Sure, you might have been hypothetically, sure, you might have been in a bad relationship. Sure, you might have been disrespected. Sure, you might have been in a horrible divorce, or you might be in, you might be in a bad child custody case and all of that stuff. Yes, you might have endured all of that. But that's yesterday's news. That was yesterday's moment. What have you learned from that last relationship on what not to do, on how not to treat somebody new that's coming into your life? What have you learned that's going to make you a better person? You have to be an open vessel for change. Did you hear what I said? Let me cut this light on. You have to be willing to change your mindset. You have to be willing to change who you are. You have to be willing to think differently. When you think differently, you act differently. You begin to stand on the foundation of who you are. If you ever get a chance, I encourage you to read Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It talks about leadership, but I think it'll bless you. The 7 habits of Highly Effective People is by Stephen Covey, Covey. In the book, I think it's around chapter 4, right? He talks about our circle of influence and our circle of concern. And in the book, if I remember correctly, he has 2 circles, right? The small one is about that big. That's the circle of influence. The circle of concern is this big. The circle of concern is mainly where we are. The circle of influence is mainly where we avoid. Our circle of influence and our stress levels are our circle of concern is where we are. We're always trying to we always concern ourselves with things that are out of our control. If you have stretch marks, if you have been defeated, if you failed in life and you don't have a high school diploma, if your situation isn't better, or if you don't feel up to par in some areas, you might have some deficiencies, you might be handicapped or whatever. Take that out of your circle of concern. My circle of concern, you know what my circle of concern used to be? I always wanted to be 6'2" and bow-legged. Did you hear what I said? I wanted to be 6'2" and bow-legged. So I used to try to make myself walk bow-legged. That's my circle of concern. My circle of influence is that I'm 5'9" and I'm not bow-legged. And I got to make it happen with what I have. Did you hear me? Stop being so concerned about the things of your past that you can't control. If a dude just want to hit it, that's what I'm telling you. If a dude just come in your life and he's not asking about your past and he wants to say, just forget about the past, or he's not asking you, then guess what? 2 things. Either he is not in tune. He doesn't know what direction he wants to go in. That's number 1, because your historicals matter. Or he just wants to hit it. Straight up. If a woman is too deep into your past and wants to get so deep into your past and always offer up some type of criticism about your past, she's empty on the inside. Straight up. Let me give it to you again. Men, if a woman is asking you about your past, your relationships and all of that, and she's critical and judgmental, and everything she says pertains to your past, and she's harping on it and zooming on it, she's empty on the inside, and she really doesn't want to reveal that she's hurting. Did you hear what I said? I'm saying to you that if you want to go into something healthy and grow, make sure that you don't enter into and measure up the new person with the old person. Make sure that you don't bring in that bull crap, that trash from the old person into the new relationship. Are you hearing me? See, I'm talking to you on this clown one be looking all in with what I'm doing. You hear me? There's clowns out here. And make sure that's item number 3. Let's make that. Make sure that if you meet a clown or a clownette, that you don't participate, that you don't hook up with them, because all you're going to do is join their circus. Let's just finish on that. I'm saying to you, you have to be willing to be open for greatness. That means accepting all of the change that comes. That means readjusting your thought patterns and who you are, and be more functional than dysfunctional. act more functional in where you want to go, what your ambitions are, instead of dysfunctional. You have to be able to look at your character defects, because we all have character defects, and be vulnerable to be blessed when God blesses you. Let me close with this. Whenever you want to accomplish anything in life, you have to always pick up the bag and go. And the baggage is remembrance from where you came from, but you can't take it with you to the degree that it holds you back. What am I saying? I'm saying that if I was in a relationship that hurt me so bad, I remember that I don't want to feel like that anymore. I never want to feel like that. So if the person begins to disrespect me, or the person acts out of character, or the person attacks me, and so on and so forth, I remember that feeling, the baggage. That's the only time it's healthy, when you don't want to be treated like that no more. Because that is healthy baggage. But that's the baggage that keeps you grounded, where you don't want to be treated like that no more. Hopefully this helped you. And, I promise you, I'm trying to be consistent, because always remember this. Consistency breaks the back of anything. You hear me? And I'm trying to tell you, if y'all don't share what I'm going to stop doing this. It's like, I'm just joking. I don't care if you share or not. All I want to do is one person get blessed by this. And I'm good. I'm not big on, people don't want to really know that I'm really shy for real. But that's a whole other story. I holler at you. Look, your boy love you. I'll be right back.